From the beautiful city, Chicago, Illinois, WGN Sports presents White Sox Baseball. It's Paul Konerko, Adam Dunn, Jake Peavy, and the Sox as they get set to butt heads with Miguel Cabrera, Victor Martinez, and the Detroit Tigers. Hi, everybody, and welcome. With Steve Stone, I'm Ken Harrell, since we get set to bring you the finale of this three-game set, and it will be the rubber match. In the opener, Sox won at 6-4 behind Mark Burley. Then last night, top of the ninth inning, 2 out, 1-2 the count on Miguel Cabrera. He had a 2-run homer. Tigers win at 4-2 behind Justin Verlander. So in the rubber match this afternoon, Jake Peavy.
Couldn't think of a better man to go to the mound than Jake Peavy. He's 2-0. Lifetime his ERA is 1.29 against these Tigers. He hasn't faced them often. When he has faced them, however, he's been very good. And so as the Indians continue to lose, we battle the Tigers to see how close we can get to the Tribe, how far they're going to fall back. And Peavy is just the man for the job. His control has been almost letter perfect. Brad Penny goes to the mound for the Tigers, and Penny's 4-4 with an ERA of 4.5. He's got a fastball, tops out around 92, 93 miles an hour. He does have a curveball. However, he works very slowly. That could play right into our base runner's hands, and we'll see how that plays out today. So you'd like to take the third game on this, a 10-game homestand, and then send the Tigers packing, get a little closer to the Indians if you can, and see if we can get it done today.
All right, sit back, relax, and strap it down. White Sox baseball coming your way. Chicago White Sox baseball is brought to you by Tex Bottle. Taste greatness. By the Illinois Lottery. How does $1,000 life sound? Then play Cash for Life instant games from the Illinois Lottery. The longer you live, the more you get. And by Ford. The newest vehicles on the road are now at your local Ford store, like the all-new Ford Explorer SUV, 100% reinvented. Visit localfordstores.com. Ford. Drive one.
Chicago White Sox baseball in high definition is brought to you by Xfinity, only from Comcast. It is a beautiful day in Chicago, 75 degrees. The wind's wafting in ever so gently. A few clouds in the sky, but not many, as Ozzie has Paul Konerko back in the lineup today, and that's always a good thing. The Sox come into this one 7 games in back of Cleveland, 3.5 in back of Detroit. The Tigers 3.5 in back of the Indians, who are losing once again to Texas. Texas threatening to sweep them in a 4-game series. So let's take a look at how Jim Leyland is going to line up his Tigers today. It's going to be Jackson leading off with Kelly hitting second and Bosch hitting third. Cabrera, who won the ball game for them last night, along with Martinez, Dirks, Avila, Rayburn, and Santiago playing shortstop today and hitting ninth. The defense and how they line up behind Jake Peavy, left to right, Pierre Lillibridge in center with Carlos Quentin. Morel, Ramirez, Beckerman, Konerko back at first. A.J. Przinsky once again behind the plate. And Jake Peavy on the hill. He's 2-0, his ERA 3.24. This is his 5th start. He's thrown the ball exceptionally well. His control has been close to letter perfect. You look at those numbers, 1 walk so far in just 25 innings of work. So Jake seems to have everything in order, and hopefully today will be no exception. The umpires for the game: Jim Reynolds behind the plate, Tim Welke is at first, Andy Fletcher is at second, and Mike DeMuro is at third. So last night we had a lot of rain before the game, and then everything cleared up, and it was a gorgeous night. For the finale of this Tigers series, it is a beautiful day. So the Sox throw the ball around the infield. We're ready to play baseball, and I'm ready to turn it over to my play-by-play partner, Hawk Harrelson.
All right, Stone Pony, thank you. And once again, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to White Sox baseball right here on WGN Sports. Finale of this 3-game set. And Austin Jackson gets set to take the first pitch of the ball game from Jake Peavy. And there's a strike. Jackson comes in hitting at .233. 3 homers. He's driven in 14. 4 for 9 in this series. So the just turned 30-year-old right-hander. And that's low and away. Tigers come in hitting at .254 as a team with a 4.28 team ERA. Tigers 13-16 on the road. Breaking ball, and the count 2-1.
Jackson's the man you want to keep off base because he is the running game for this Tiger team. And in this series, he swung the bat pretty well.
There's a strike to even the count at 2. And here at beautiful USA Field, 330 down the left field line, 335 down the right field line, 375 in the gaps, and 400 straight away center. He gone.
It got him with a good slider, low and out of the zone. And a promising way to start the first inning. That ball just dives. And Jackson, who strikes out a lot, puts another one on the tally. It's number 66.
So here's Kelly. Don Kelly hitting at .254, 0 for 3 in this set. Takes first pitch strike. Oh, what a beautiful day here in the beautiful city. Fakes the bunt, takes the ball. And the count 1-1.
Jake spends very little time between pitches. He gets back on the mound. He pretty much knows what he wants to do. He and AJ have worked very well together, and he just gets it and throws it.
That's a souvenir left side. Other action. Steve told you Texas leading Cleveland 2-0. Minnesota taking on Kansas City in Missouri. Dodgers at Cincinnati. Florida at home against Milwaukee. Boston leading Oakland 3-0. That game in the bottom of the second at Fenway. He gone. Good movement.
That's that fastball that he starts at the left-hand hitter's right hip. See where A.J. wants it. Watch the movement. And it comes back and gets a good part of the plate. Left-handers give up on it. That was a Greg Maddux special, and Jake has got a dandy.
So here's Brennan Bosch hitting at .259, 5 homers, 27 driven in. He's 4 for 9 in the series with a homer. That coming last night in the first inning off Edwin Jackson, a 2-run shot. But mid-third in Pittsburgh, Pirates trying to take it to the Phillies again, leading 2-0. They had 39,441 there at PNC last night.
Hey, the Pirates are a pretty good young team. Cutchin in center field, Neil Walker at second. That's some guys who are starting to play good, solid baseball.
One pitch.
Jake's going to try to use Bosch's aggressiveness against him. Veteran pitcher against the very young hitter who does have a nose-to-toe strike zone.
And the 1-2. A little bit low. Jake, 30 games over in his career. 104 up and 74 down.
Here you see one of the villains for last night, Miguel Cabrera in the on-deck circuit. Got a backdoor breaking ball. That one just stayed off the outside corner.
So 2 out, and the payoff pitch. He gone. Strikes out the side after the half inning of play. It's the Tigers nothing, and the good guys coming to bat.
Your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana BMW dealers. BMW, the ultimate driving machine. Here's how Ozzy's going to line him up. Juan Pierre is going to lead it off. He's had success against Penny. That's going to be Ramirez, who's been red hot. Carlos Quentin. Paul Konerko back in the lineup. That's a good sight. AJ. Then it's Lillibridge, Dunn, Beckham, and Morrell rounding out the lineup. The defense and how they'll line up behind Brad Penny. Left to right, Dirks, Jackson, and Bosch. In the infield, Kelly, Santiago, Rayburn, and Cabrera. Victor Martinez behind the plate. And Brad Penny on a hill. This is his 12th start. Record even at 4-4. He has no record, no ERA against our ball club, so it will be adventuresome to take a look at a guy whose fastball, when he's at his best, will top out 93, 94. Usually pitches anywhere from 90 to 92.
And before we show you our picks to click, you at home select yours. Juan Pierre stands in, hitting at .262. A homer, he's driven in 14. And that homer coming in this series as he takes first pitch strike from the 33-year-old veteran. Coweta, Oklahoma.
He's been around since 1996, where he was with the Diamondbacks in their minor leagues.
And that cutter inside, so the count 1-1.
Ed Benny's had an interesting career. He's been on the disabled list 10 times, on the suspended list a couple of times. And with St. Louis last year, he only pitched 9 games.
And that's by Kelly at third, but they're playing him short out there. And over towards the line, so it'll just be a single.
You have to play in with Juan Pierre because you have to respect the bunt. And playing in, there are very few angles on a ground ball. You see where Kelly is on the grass, and that ball to his right, he can't get to.
That'll bring up Alexei, hitting an even 300. 6 homers, he's driven in 31. That pitch taken up high. Bit of a gap out there in right center. Sox come in hitting the same as the Tigers. 254 as a team with a 4.12 ERA.
This is a good combination to run against. As Martinez, a decent enough catcher, probably not as quick a release or as strong an arm as Avila. And Penny normally very slow uncoiling to home plate.
Plus he's slow over the first base.
I don't believe he's going to pick him up. But he is also very slow on the mound.
That is his quickest move right there. The ball hit high into left field. Andy Dirks. And that's out number 1. So with 1 down, let's check out our picks to click this afternoon. Jim Angio, our director and crew, with Adam Dunn. Sean Ponies going with Carlos Quentin. And Matt McEntee and Dave Fairman and I of the Golf Club Scottsdale. We're going to go with Brent Morrell.
I think that's looking good right now. That club, Golf Club of Scottsdale.
It's coming up.
It's looking real good.
Here's Quentin. And that is souvenir right side.
Ed Penny last year had the same injury, only not quite as severe as Jake Peavy's. He had an injured latissimus dorsi. Only Jake pulled his away from the bone. Brad Penny pitched in only 9 games, and then he was lost for the year.
Quentin 2 for 4 in the series with a homer. Penny's got pretty quick feet, but he long arms it over to first.
Heard about those fast twitch muscles? He's got very slow twitch muscles. He doesn't rush into much, but he's always had pretty good stuff.
Long set. And that pitch a little high. Penny just looked like Hoyt Wilhelm. They called him Tilt. Just tilts his head a little bit, looks in.
Penny's 2 best years by far were with the Dodgers. He was 16-9 in 06. He was 16-4 in 2007 with a 3.03 ERA.
Here, 10 for 18 in stolen bases, has just a decent lead.
It was 31 seconds between the time the ball was in his glove and the time he decided to push back Juan Pierre. A
little bigger lead now by 1. There he goes. And that's through into left field. So Juan's going to make the turn, and he'll get into third. One out, runners at the corners, and here comes Paulie.
That was a play that Danny Worth would have made, but Don Kelly doesn't. Moving to his left, it looked like that ball just scooted under the glove. And runners at the corners with a chance to do some damage here in the first inning.
Well, certainly Brandon Inge would have made it.
There's no doubt.
So here's Paulie hitting at .310, 12 homers, 44 RBIs.
They've lost Brandon Inge for an indeterminate amount of time. If you've been with us, you know that he was diagnosed with mononucleosis. Jim Leland will fill in with a round robin, a trifecta at third between Worth, Kelly, and Santiago.
Paulie missed the first 2 games of this series with that chip in his left wrist. They flushed out and hopefully pushed down. Takes ball 1 up and in.
When I talked to Paul today, he was just going in. He said, I'm going to take some batting practice, see how it feels, and if it feels good, he goes, I'm in there. So we see the result of that batting practice.
Well, he said it was sore, but he's played through pain much of his career. And that's a fair ball. Down the line. Quinton makes a turn. Paulie on his way to second. He will get there with his 9th 2-bagger. And it's 1-0 good guys. And here comes AJ.
RBI number 45, and it certainly helps to have the big guy back in the lineup. He takes this sinking fastball, drives it right down the line, and Kelly probably doesn't know where to be at this point. If he's played close to the line, they've hit it to his left. If he's played off the line, they hit it to his right. Either way, the balls keep shooting by him on either side.
Don't stop now, boys. AJ hitting at .270, a couple homers, 18 knocked in. AJ has faced Penny 6 times, has 1 hit. And that's into left field. Dirks now coming on as Quinton's tagging. He's not going anywhere as he makes a good, perfect throw to cutoff man. And now it's up to Lillibridge. Grant hitting at .301, 7 homers. He's driven in 12.
Got a chance for a big hit here. Hit the ball fairly hard last night again. Something he's been doing with great frequency.
Takes a strike on the inside corner. Brent just quizzically looks back at Jim Reynolds. And that's high and wide. 21 to count.
Then he has a couple of wild pitches this year. Giving up 6 home runs and now 69 in the 3rd innings of work.
Ball gets by Martinez. Quinton scores, and it's 2-0. Paulie into third. Right through the wickets.
We'll have to wait and see if that one is the 3rd wild pitch or charged to pass ball, and it goes as a wild pitch. Threw that slider in the dirt. Victor Martinez is not the defensive catcher that Alex Avila is. The ball gets by him.
So 2-1 to count. We'll take one more. Have a redo. That is cute foul. Outfield about equidistant, maybe just a slight gap out there in right center. And that's back into nice catch by one of the fans. It's amazing what a baseball can do.
Make your day.
Oh, yeah. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. It's full with Adam Dunn on deck.
Penny used to strike out about 130, 140 guys a year, but those days are gone. He's fanned 29. And now 69 plus innings of work. So usually you make contact against him.
Ball 4 base hit. Brant. Chased one upstairs. 3-2. Gotta be hacking if it's close. Watch out. Close.
Brent's got pretty good reflexes as that ball sails up and in, kept following him. He's able to get down. He turns the right way into the catcher, which is the way you want to turn on a ball inside. Kenny doesn't use a straight change, and he's not overpowering. It would be that it's Adam Dunn's day.
Adam at 178, 5 homers, 23 driven in. He's faced Penny a lot. 33 times, has 6 hits. Of the 6 hits, 4 of them stayed in the park. Adam 1 for 8 in this series. Got Ryan Rayburn out there in short.
And Lillibridge got off to a running start, and actually, I don't think Victor Martinez would have thrown the ball, but Brent decided after going about a third of the way that he would just trot on back to first.
Looks like that start for a hop, skip, and a jump guy.
And he just trotted on back.
The 1-1. Well, in this downtime that Adam has had, in this funk, he has had some good pitches to hit.
That was one of them.
Yeah. And just has not squared them up.
Penny doesn't have much movement on his fastball. It's completely the opposite of Jake Peavy, who can't throw anything straight. Brad Penny has got a pretty straight fastball.
There he goes. But the Sox come up with a pair after one of his 2-0 good guys. First pitch to Cabrera, taken for a strike. 2-0 White Sox here in the top of the second, if you're just tuning in. And that slider cued foul. So the count very quickly, 0-2. Cabrera comes in at .313, 12 homers, 42 driven in. He has faced Peavy 22 times in his career, and he has 2 hits, both of which stayed in the park.
Cabrera looking down the barrel of his bat to see if there's any cracks or chips. Apparently satisfied.
One out. And a reminder, you and 9 friends could score tickets to a White Sox game as they take on the Northsiders at home. You could also get to throw the first pitch for a chance at $1 million. For your chance to win another great White Sox prizes, go to tastepoints.com. Victor Martinez hitting at .306, 5 homers, 28 driven in.
One of the things I really like about Jake is the fact that he varies speeds on his fastball. You don't find a lot of guys that do that. They have 2 fastballs, a 4-seamer and a 2-seamer, but as far as varying speeds within that, they just don't do it.
And that 3-hit shutout he threw against Cleveland, he was varying speeds on his fastball and his breaking ball.
And throwing a straight change to go with it,
and
which is very effective.
Varying speeds on his changeup. That's low, 2-1.
His first straight change of the day. Martinez showed some patience. Jake about ready to deliver pitch number 22.
High into left field. Should be a can of corn. 2 down. Rubber match of this 3-game set. Sox took the opener 6-4 behind Mark Burley. Mark picking up his 17th victory against the Tigers in his career. He's 17-9. And last night, Tigers won at 4-2. Justin Verlander, who in his previous start had thrown 132 pitches, and the 132nd was at 100 miles an hour. He started off last night throwing 92, 93. By the time we got to the 8th inning, the last pitch he threw to Carlos Quentin to strike him out was 100 miles an hour.
Yeah, he found it once again. Edwin Jackson had a terrible start and really came back to battle him and ate up 18 outs, 6 innings.
Change up. 6 up, 6 down for the Jake Meister, and he leads it 2-0. At the Game Zone for up-to-the-minute stats and information. Log on to www.wgntv.com and enter the Game Zone, brought to you by Connie's Pizza. Now you can park at Connie's on Archer Avenue and take their free shuttle to each game. Call 312-CONNIES. That's 312-CONNIES for more information. Gordon Beckham will lead it off for us here in the bottom of the second inning. 2 runs, 3 hits for our guys. No runs, no hits for their guys. Gordon hitting at .238, 5 homers, 18 RBIs, 1 for 7 in this series, and that was a home run coming last night. Got a slow curveball from Verlander and hit it out of here to tie the game at 2. Outfield for the most part straight up. This is the third of a 10-game homestand. We have Seattle coming in starting tomorrow night, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And then Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, it'll be the Oakland A's coming to town. So make your plans to be with us here at beautiful US Cellular Field. As that's fouled back, they're all right.
We didn't get any breaks in that rotation against the Mariners, so if we're going to handle them in that series, we're going to handle their best. Michael Pineda at 6-2, Felix Hernandez at 6-4, the middle game, and Jason Vargas 3-3. That's numbers 1, 2, and 3 in their rotation. He missed Fister.
There's about a 54-footer.
That's his attempt at a changeup, and that didn't work real well.
He tried to throw a couple on those warm-up pitches prior to this and threw them back to the backstop.
Yeah. It was get a new ball for Victor Martinez.
Two. Hit hard. Rayburn. And that's out number 1. And a reminder, take the White Sox with you this season. Subscribe to MLB.tv today to see every White Sox game live or on demand on your computer or your favorite devices. So visit WhiteSox.com to order.
Brent Morel has had just a wonderful series.
He was our star of the game in game 1. 3 hits, 3 rockets, and 3 absolutely splendid defensive plays. That is average up to 256. A homer. He's driven in 13. That's softly hit. Rayburn's got to hurry. Can't make it. That'll be a base hit.
He was thinking about flipping it backhanded with the glove. That would be a very difficult play for some of the better second basemen in the league. And for Rayburn, he has no chance. So Morel gets another hit. A little squibber to the right side. Rayburn comes over. Take a look at what he tries to do.
Well, some of the better second basemen in the league wouldn't even try that.
No.
They might try to slap it over with the right hand, but not the left.
That was too long, but if he got it in the glove, he'd have flipped it over Cabrera's head anyway.
So here's Pierre. He shot a single down past Don Kelly at third to start off last inning and came around to score. Takes a bunt, takes a strike. field short, around to the left. Kelly at the cut of the grass at third. And the count 0-2. Since 2000, our Sox are 120 up and 83 down against the Tigers. Here at USA Field, 93 and 63. And at Comerica Park, since they opened that, we are 58 and 44. That's low. And that's another souvenir. So Sox are only one of 2 teams in the major leagues this year to have 2 guys with 40 or more RBIs. Paulie with 45, counting the one today, and Quentin with 40. Milwaukee is the other. Prince Fielder has 45 and Ryan Braun has 42.
Milwaukee's making life miserable for the Florida Marlins on the road.
Ran a pretty good lead. There he goes. No throw. Picks up his second stolen base.
I told you about the combination of Martinez and Penny. Anybody with any speed at all is going to run and run successfully against this duo.
Pick him up one. That's downstairs. Full count to Pierre. Alexei on deck. And the payoff pitch. And there's a base hit. So Morel has got to pull up. Well, we've seen Dirks make 3 throws now. The last 2 days, he's hit the cutoff man perfectly all 3 times.
Well, Andy Dirks was their organizational player of the year last year and spent most of the year in Double-A. They love his short stroke. They love his hustle. He's the kind of player that any manager would like because he can play all 3 outfield positions. Gives you good speed, gives you probably an average arm, but he's been accurate with it. And in left field, all they ask you to do is hit the cutoff man.
So here's Alexei. He went out to Dirks his first trip. One decent lead. There he goes. They're going to throw through. And they get him. So a big out right there with a man on third. And only 1 out. Juan having a lot of trouble. He is now just 10 for 19 in stolen bases.
He doesn't get a great jump.
He had just a decent lead, too.
And it was just a straight steal. Put the tag on him before the hand got on the bag. Andy Fletcher on the call. And it was a good one.
Now it's going to take a base hit, error, wild pitch, pass ball. There was a bad throw by Kelly, but a nice pick by. So we blow a good chance right there to pick up another run, but we still lead it 2-0. And Rayburn, Ramon Santiago here in the top of the third for the Tigers. Sox lead at 2-0. Avila comes in hitting at .275, 8 homers, 31 driven in. And he has swung the bat very well in this series, even though he's only 1 for 7. He's hit the ball hard. But in the opening, we talked about the importance of division play, and we have got to win some games. You got to win games inside your own division. Each one is huge.
Division and home. This team 11-14 at home, 6-8 in the division. Both of those records have to start turning around.
3-0 the count.
Avila has shown big power to left and left center field. This is the first time Jake has come close to falling behind anybody.
There's one. Jake has worked 27 innings this year. He has 19 strikeouts and 1 walk. That's high into center field. Lillibridge. So he comes back from the 3-0 count, and that'll bring up Rayburn. Ryan hitting an even 200, 4 homers. He's driven in 15.
Send along best wishes to a dear friend of mine, Jill Estep, big time insurance exec, looking on in Phoenix, Arizona.
Takes ball 1. Rayburn 2 for 8 in the series. Strike. And that's hit well into center field. Can of corn. 2 down. Top of the third in Kansas City, 3-0 Minnesota. Top of the fifth in Cincinnati, 7-4 Dodgers. Milwaukee leading the Marlins 5-1. Bottom of the sixth down in Florida. Bottom of the fourth at Fenway, Red Sox leading Oakland 3-2. Top of the fifth at PNC, Pirates. The Buccos leading Phillies 2-1. Santiago takes ball 1.
You always have to play him short because he is a very good bunter, although the left side is his best side. And that's how he'll look out at Jake.
There's a strike. Bottom of the third in St. Louis, no scores. They host the Cubs. Toronto leading Baltimore 6-2. Bottom of the fifth at Oriole Park. One and 2 the count for the 31-year-old veteran infielder.
It was a good slider that Jake threw, kept it out of the zone. One went biting down and in. He missed the strike zone by plenty, but Santiago had already committed.
The 1-2. He gone. 9 up, 9 down for the Jake Meister. $1,000 a week every week for the rest of your life. Well, you got to play cash for life instant games from the Illinois Lottery. You keep living, they keep giving. $1,000 a week for life. The longer you live, the more you get. Bottom of the third inning, 2-5-0 for our guys. No runs, no hits, no errors for their guys. It'll be Quentin, Konerko, and Pierzynski to face Brad Penny. Quentin singled and scored back in the first. Oh, and 2 the count. Sox in the American League Central this year, 6-8. So we got a ton of games left in our division.
We've played the fewest interdivisional games of any team in the Central. There you look at the standings. Cleveland is losing 2-0. That game in the bottom of the 7th inning in Cleveland. Texas threatening to sweep them. Tigers 3.5 back. We are 7 back. The fading Kansas City team is 9 back.
And that is foul back. So the count hangs at 1-2. Outfield straight up. Brad Penny is a very deliberate worker, to say the least.
And then some.
And that's foul. Not as bad as some of those Boston pitchers, but close. He could wear that uniform.
He did.
Fit right in with it.
He wore it. He wore it in 2009. 7-8 with a 5.61 and 24 starts. And they shipped him over to San Francisco, where he threw very well in the National League. 4-1, 2.59 ERA. Before going to St. Louis and finding himself as a free agent signed by Detroit.
So an extended at bat here by Quentin, fouling off a lot of pitches.
And Penny staying away with just about everything against Carlos. If he goes in, he'll go in off the plate. And a lot of times, because Carlos doesn't move very much, that ball will hit him.
Down goes Quentin, 1 out. Second strikeout for Penny. So here's Paulie. He doubled right down the third base line, knocking in Pierre, putting Quentin on third, and then Quentin scored on a wild pitch. Paulie now 45 RBIs to go along with those 12 homers, 9 doubles. Takes first pitch strike.
Got that fastball right down the middle. Of course, it was 94, but Foley doesn't care the velocity. He just cares the location, and unfortunately, fouled it straight back.
And the 0-2 pitch, Martinez setting up away. Well, he just did get a piece of it. And it was good to see the big hurt Frank Thomas down in the clubhouse prior to the game. Frank was talking, we talked yesterday, as a matter of fact, as well, about the art of DHing. And for some guys, it's very difficult. That's low. When you're a guy like Adam Dunn, and he was the topic of discussion, and had been an everyday player over in the National League, all of a sudden you come over here, and you're a DH. Sometimes it takes a while to get acclimated to that type of thought process. That's high, 2-2. And the thought process being, if you're going to take each and every at bat with you all day long, and the only thing you're thinking about 24/7 is hitting, chances are you're going to put yourself into an area where you've never been before. When you're playing at least every day like he was in the National League, at least you've got something else to take your mind off of. Little soft ground ball hit to the right side. 2 down. Other guys adapt to it like duck to a water. Here's AJ. Other guys have big time problems with it. And so far, Adam has had big time problems.
Well, Ozzie has tried to get him in there, and of course Paul missed the first 2 games of the series, and Adam was able to do his defensive work. Actually made a very good play last night on a ball that Gordon Beckham ranged far to his left. Adam picked it out of the dirt. That turned out to be a big defensive play. The bat hasn't been there. He's always hit. So for a guy that's always put up the kind of numbers he has, it has to be doubly frustrating. But it's also an adjustment to a new league where the guys throw a little bit harder consistently.
There's a strike and the count 1-1. I think that issue right there, changing leads, has become less of a factor than it was in the past when you had less movement, free agency. At one time, the National League was a low ball league. The American League was a high ball league because of the umpires. They wore the inside protector in the National League and the balloons in the American League. Now that took some adjustments for a lot of guys. Dirk's giving chase. He won't get there.
Well, that was a big adjustment, but also, I mean, take a look at the premier staff in the National League. You've got Philadelphia Phillies starting rotation. You wouldn't say Halliday's an overpowering guy. Cole Hamels is not an overpowering guy. There was a time when Roy Oswald was, but this isn't the time. And Cliff Lee has never been an overpowering guy. But you look at some of the staffs in our league, guys throw pretty hard. You look at the staff that comes in for Seattle and the guys that will throw for them, you don't have consistent staffs, starting rotations like that in the National League. I think that's a big factor.
I think the biggest factor in hitting is, as I said, the number one rule in hitting is one thing. I don't care if you're playing in the American League, National League. I don't care if you're playing in Japan, China, Little Wissy, Georgia. It doesn't make any difference. You got to cover the fastball. And if you can't cover the fastball in the big leagues or anywhere else, you're not going to hit. He checks it up. He did not go.
Well, historically, another factor is and we don't have any research to back this one way or the other, but you'll see guys sign long-term contracts, especially if they're big number contracts. And sometimes that first year is very difficult for them, especially coming over to this new league, coming into a big market for the first time, coming into a race with expectations for the first time. Those are all factors. There's not one single factor.
That's why some guys have trouble adjusting to the DH.
Well,
just that.
But the first year, I think you want to make every at bat. You substantiate that 4-year contract, and you can't. Quite obviously, why guys have difficulty sometimes in the first year of a long contract, and the second year they come out and have a breakout year.
Well, when you're used to playing his whole career,
no doubt,
defensively and offensively, there's two sides to it. There's another foul ball, broken back. Now all of a sudden you take away half the guy's game. The only thing he now thinks about, or has to think about, is hitting. And that's what Frank was alluding to. You've got to learn how to transcend that, so to speak. But still, Adam just has not. I'll guarantee he covered the fastball in nationally. You don't hit 40 home runs a year over there unless you're covering the fastball.
No, in any league.
And he's not covering the fastball here. And there's another. You can give all the theories on hitting you want. There are thousands of philosophies. There have been thousands of hitting coaches. And it all boils down to one thing as far as the first rule being, and that is cover the fastball. That's what we talk about the youngsters out there who are watching the game right now, or in high school, college, aspiring major league players, guys that have talent. And they worry about it not being a good breaking ball hitter. You don't have to hit the breaking ball to play in the big leagues, but you got to cover the fastball. That ball lined hard. Jackson, that's Jay. And that's a 1-2-3 inning for Brad Penny. And we'll go to the fourth, leading 2-0.
Sponsored in part by the Illinois Lottery Mega Millions and Powerball. Tuesday's Mega Millions jackpot is worth $24 million. Wednesday's Powerball jackpot is worth $25 million.
And that is into center field, so you can cancel the post-game show. Austin Jackson, the first Tiger runner leading off here in the top of the fourth inning.
One of the things Jake Peavy has done is vary his times on delivering the ball with a speed burner at first base. Jackson falls into that category. Jake is quick to home plate. You also don't know how long he's going to hold it, and that disrupts the base run.
So here's Kelly. Caught looking on a good moving Peavy fastball. Takes down low. Jackson 9 for 11 in stolen bases. Paulie goes to second to return. Rack him up. No, yeah. Well, I missed it.
Well off the bag.
Yep.
And Alexei had a perfect opportunity. Paulie usually makes very solid throws. That was a one-hop rocket off the bat of Kelly. And with Jackson bearing down on him,
he had plenty of time.
yeah, that return throw just wasn't too good. Pulled Paulie off the bag. The swipe tag, he missed him. Good call by Tim Welke.
So what should have been isn't. And here's Bosch. He struck out swinging on a high fastball. Outfield straight up, spread out. And to count 2-0. You're just tuning in, Sox 2 in the first. And the Tigers coming up with their first hit here in the top of the fourth. Three and nothing. Cabrera on deck. So there's ball 4.
Just the second walk of the year for Jake.
And here's Cabrera. He grounded out to Alexei.
Another one of those ground balls, and you'll see Cabrera ground into a double play. Something he's done 5 times this year that ties him for the team lead in that department.
First pitch strike. Slider. Wild pitch.
Jake Peavy with his first wild pitch of the year. That one pretty costly because it moves up the 2 tying runs 90 feet. That slider biting. AJ moved out but couldn't block it. That one well wide of the plate. A very wild pitch. Now you have to keep the infield back to stay out of the big inning.
And the count 1-2.
That was a defensive swing. Cabrera probably thought that he was going to get a slider. Instead, he got the Peavy fastball and just literally took it out of AJ's glove. That ball was almost by him. Best hitter in the major leagues with runners in scoring position. He's at bat.
And that's sinker low. Well, he's got 921 RBIs and he's 28 years old. And a full count.
I think you try to strike him out with a slider here. You have first base open. Maybe like Sergio Santos, who got him to end the first ball game. He'll swing at a pitch out of the zone. And there was a slider, but a little too much of the plate.
Ducks on the pond, one out, and the payoff pitch. A 91-mile-an-hour sinker in on the fist.
He stayed away by and large. He tried to sneak the last fastball inside on him, and Cabrera was able to fight it off. Dating back to April 18th, Cabrera is hitting .528 with runners in scoring position, and over the full season, .458 with runners in scoring position. Those are pretty lofty numbers.
Yep. Tenth pitch is foul back.
He's trying everything. Using the changeup, using the slider. Now he's gone from outside fastballs to inside fastballs the last couple of pitches. Hit him.
Turned into that one. And now he says no. Jim Reynolds. So it's a foul ball.
Rides a fastball inside. That'd be a foul ball, but didn't hit the bat. I don't think Jim Leland is too upset with this, actually. Maybe you can strike him out now.
And that's chop foul. Usually 4 or 5 key outs that the pitcher has to get. He did not go, and that'll load him up. So back-to-back walks. Sacks packed with Tigers, and here comes Victor Martinez, who went out to Juan Pierre.
Victor is a much better hitter from the left side than he is from the right. All of his power comes from the left side. All 5 of his home runs come as a left-hand hitter. And surprisingly, he's only grounded into 2 double plays. A ground ball here would be welcome.
Goes through that one at 91. And the count very quickly, 0-2.
Victor's a tough man to fan. 20 strikeouts in 158 at bats. Jake could certainly use one here, despite those lofty numbers with the bases loaded for Martinez.
Outfield straight up, spread out, in the 0-2 pitch. That is popped and is not going to be playable.
With Pierre playing deep and Morel a long way to go, that ball falls in play just out of reach.
That ball crushed. Quentin is back, makes the catch. Boy, that's a humpback line drive there. We are lucky it is not a 4-2 Tiger lead. Meanwhile, it's a 2-1 White Sox lead.
RBI number 29. And on an 0-2 pitch, Jake gets it up and out over the plate. And we are a bit fortunate.
So here's Dirks. He grounded out softly to Beckham. You cannot. Ooh, he got a cookie right there. I was just getting ready to say you cannot ease up after you get a tough man like Martinez and then have a rookie come up.
Jim Leland says that Dirks is one of those guys that has a short enough stroke so that he eventually sees him being able to hit off the bench if that is his destiny. But he likes a whole lot about his game.
And the count 0-2. This is the man you want. You don't want a velo on deck. Nope. That's going to tie the ball game on a double by Dirks. The 0-2 pitch. Cookie.
Jake made a couple mistakes on 0-2 and back-to-back hitters. And that's just a 5th RBI for Dirks. His 3rd double of the year. Don Cooper coming out now to talk with Jake.
What's this one?
Slider. Low and in. Most left-handers kind of like that. And I'm sure one of the things he's talking to him about is you got a very tough hitter in Avila. Don't worry about Jake's control. You have Rayburn in the on-deck circle, right-hander to right-hander. He's hitting below 200.
Now, nobody knows he's made 2 mistakes better than the guy you're looking at right now. Avila went out hard to center field. A 2-2 tie here in the top of the 4th inning. And the count 2-0.
The double play you didn't make. The 4th out in the inning has turned into 2 runs. He's trying to entice Vila to swing at something out of the zone. So far, Alex has shown patience. Jake, who had a minimum of pitches, has thrown 30 this inning.
So the third walk of the inning.
That one might as well have been intentional, however.
Yep. Well, when you give, we saw this last year, and we saw it earlier this season. When you give big league teams 4 and 5 outs an inning, they're probably going to score. And it was a perfect double play ball. And there's a grand slam. So he picked up 6 runs on the double play that did not get turned.
Does not show up in the unearned run column, but it's 3 hitters that Jake should not have had to face this inning. Those things happen. And Rayburn is at his 5th home run. He's driven in 19. The Tigers have a 4-run lead, seemingly in a heartbeat.
So they bat around here in the 4th.
Take another look at it. First ball, fastball, and gone.
And all 3 walks have crossed the plate. 6 runs on 3 hits for the Tigers, 2 runs on 5 hits for our guys. Well, when you're supposed to turn, all you got to do is make the routine plays, not do anything spectacular. We had a routine play, didn't make it, and they scored 6 runs because of it. Tigers lead at 6-2. Coming up with 6 runs in the top of the 4th. And it'll be Lillibridge, Dunn, and Beckham for us. We had men on first and third last inning. Only 1 out. But Juan Pierre got caught stealing. And then Ramirez grounded out to third. Breaking ball strike to Lillibridge, who walked. Almost got hit on a 3-2 pitch. Another breaking ball, and very quickly 0-2.
That's one of the better curveballs that Penny's thrown today. When he's right, it probably is his best pitch. He's averaged right at 6 innings per start this year.
Agents love that.
The quality start is a 4.50 ERA, and the not too distant past, 4.50, not a particularly good earned run average. As long as they're giving quality starts for a 4.50 ERA, a lot of guys go 6.
One and 2 the count to Lillibridge. We got plenty of time against this guy.
Penny has shown that he's not unhittable today. It's a question of stringing a few together.
Down goes Lillibridge.
That curveball, when he gets it in the neighborhood, is pretty tough. Good sharp breaker down and away.
Here's Dunn. He struck out on a high fastball. Oh, and 1 to count.
That's the closest thing that Penny has thrown to a bit of a changeup. 5 miles an hour off his fastball.
And the count 0-2. They've been wearing at him out with slow low and hard high. One and 2.
Most likely it's going to go back to the high heat after a couple breaking balls. We'll see what Victor Martinez wants.
So 2 and 2. Sox with 2 in the first, 6 here in the top of the 4th. If you're just joining us, rubber match of this 3-game set. Adding more into it is now full.
There's Paul. Still a little pain in that hand, that wrist. But he's playing, and he's driving in runs.
Stay fair. Stay fair. It won't, says Tim Welke.
Adam is looking down the line going, I finally get one, and can't keep it fair. Tim Welke showing him that it was about 18 inches foul. take another look at it. Now that was not a particularly good call, and Adams shows his frustration. Watch this ball. When a catcher has to yank it that far back into the zone, you got to figure that he doesn't believe it was a strike.
So here's Beckham. He grounded out to his counterpart, Rayburn.
Slider from Penny, and a pretty good one. A 10 miles an hour variance between that and his good curveball.
The ball hit hard. Stretch. Stretch. Get up. It will. You can put it on the board. Yes. His sixth homer. And it's a 6-3 ball game.
Then he tried to go after him with a fastball. This one was up and out over the plate. RBI number 19. A perfect pitch to hit. And Gordon tattoos it. There's a long way to go in this one. The guy on the mound that is less than overpowering.
So here's Brent. He had an infield single and a stolen base back in the second inning. Back into the LG Skyline Club seats. And of course, with that home run by Beckham, the Alex Snellius family will donate $100 to White Sox charities for every Sox homer hit throughout the course of the season. That is number 61, so $6,100 donated by Alex Snellius in loving memory of Ursula. And there's a base hit. Well, 2 for 2. And here's Juan Pierre, who's 2 for 2.
Kelly has to play him inside the bag and off the line at third. First inning, he slapped it right by him to his right.
And takes him right to the bag. He'll take it himself, and that'll retire the side. But the solo shot by Gordon Beckham will go to the fifth, trailing by 3. footlongs from Subway. Just be the 500 texter. Text Subway to 97999. So go to WGNTV.com for complete information and rules.
Will Oman comes into the game. Doesn't have a record, has 5.79 ERA on for the 20th time. And we'll find out if there is anything wrong with Jake. He was sailing along at a 31 or 32 pitch inning. That still left him right around 70 pitches.
So they batted around last inning, and here's the guy that started it off with a base hit to center. The first Tiger hit of the game.
Jake went 4 innings, gave up 6 runs on 3 hits, walked 3, fanned 4.
One and one the count. Jackson struck out to start off the ball game. He is now 5 for 11 in the series. Got his average up to 235. Well, got to hurry. That guy can move. Good play. Jackson can scoop. Here's Kelly. Struck out. Then in the fourth with Jackson at first, hit a one-hot shot right to Konerko, who made a perfect throw to Alexei. And the return throw from Alexei back to Paul was wide. The double play, an easy double play, was not turned. And that caused one and one to count. Ball and 2 strikes to the 31-year-old veteran all-purpose player. He gone. 2 down. So that'll bring up the right fielder Brennan Bosch, who struck out in the first. Then he walked in the fourth. Got a final from Cleveland. Texas shuts him out 2-0. C.J. Wilson, the winner. He's 6-3. Talbot takes the loss. He's 2-2.
If Kelly Feliz, who came in with a 1.27 ERA, nailed it down. So they swept them in a 4-game series. And the Rangers continue to roll along with Hamilton and Cruz back.
Big breaker. Then a count 0-2. There are about 4 or 5 elite teams in baseball. And Texas happens to be one of them.
They were vulnerable when Hamilton and Cruz went down. They're winners of 5 in a row, 9 of their last 11. And it's amazing how many times both of those guys hit home runs in the same game.
Here you go. 1-2-3 inning for Ullman. Couple of strikeouts. We're halfway home, trailing 6-3.
to you by Lincoln. Against Seattle, Monday night, Tuesday night, and Wednesday night, all on Comcast Sportsnet. That's our Lincoln upcoming schedule. And we got 3 toughies from the Mariners.
And we trail by 3 right here. We got to worry about this one and try to get some tallies as Alexei will lead it off. Another 55-footer. And a reminder, you can join the Shy Sox mobile group today by texting Paul. That's Paul to 244-769 for a chance to win an autograph. Paul Canerico bat. Text Paul to Shy Sox 244-769. Alexei has gone out to left and then broke his bat, shattered his bat, grounded to third.
Getting about ready to deliver pitch number 85. With nobody out here in the 5th.
In between innings, I just got a text asking me how Alexei not turning that double play led to 6 runs. Well, I'll explain it to you. Jackson led it off with a single. Kelly hit the perfect double play ball. Paul gave Alexei a perfect feed. Alexei made a bad throw, taking him off the bag. Kelly was safe. So the double play, that would have been 2 out, nobody on. So now with Kelly at first base and 1 out, Bosch walked, Cabrera walked. So that loaded him up. Martinez went out to right field, which turned out to be a sacrifice fly, but it would have been the 3rd out with no runs across, and that's how it led to 6 runs. Nice pick by Kelly from the knees. Nice pay.
That's a tremendous play. Kelly had seen the ball going by him on both sides, and this time diving to his right over toward the line. And if you're wondering about his arm, he's got plenty of it.
So here's Quentin. He's 1 for 2. He singled in the 1st, and he struck out in the 3rd. Small gap, little bitty gap out there in right center. And the count 2-0. Taking some other scores for you. Minnesota shutting out Kansas City 4-0. Bottom of the 7th at Kauffman Stadium. Top of the 7th in Cincinnati, 9-5. Dodgers leading the Reds. And the count 3-0. Boston leading Oakland 6-3. That game in the top of the 7th at Fenway. Toronto 7, Baltimore 3. Bottom of the 8th at Oriole Park. And there's ball 4. And now that play by Kelly. Even bigger as here comes Paulie. Paulie is 1 for 2, an RBI double in the 1st.
Says Martinez out to talk with Penny as he's about ready to deliver pitch number 93. Let's take advantage of it while he's still in there. The bullpen up and going. I don't think, unless Penny battens down the hatches here soon. He's going to be in line for a no decision.
Now the outfield about equidistant. And that ball hit. Stay fair. It will. One bounce into the seats. So Quentin will stop at third on the second double of the ball game by Konerko. Don't stop now, boys. We need some points.
Wally gets a fastball in the spot he wants to hit it, takes it down the line. So only 3 runs down, having out-hit the Tigers 8-3. Brad Penny is in struggle mode.
And here's AJ. He popped up to short left field in the first, then he lined hard to center his last time up. Takes first pitch strike. Started him off with a changeup. Nicely by Victor Martinez.
One has already scored on a wild pitch. Al Albuquerque, the right-hander. Adam Wilk, the left-hander. Albuquerque's got a terrific arm.
Big pitch coming up, the 1-1. Ducks on the pond, 1 down. Good layoff right there by AJ. Advantage Pierzynski. A little nubber right back to the mound. So far, the second time we have had man on third and less than 2 out. And if Lillibridge doesn't get him in, that's not good.
AJ had an opportunity on a fly out in the first inning. This time, a curveball. Penny freezes and throws to first. Took a look at Carlos Quentin, made sure that he wasn't coming, and got the out.
So Brent has walked and he struck out. Struck out leading off last inning on a good curveball. Takes first pitch strike at 93.
This is another very big at bat. Last night we squandered some opportunities against Justin Verlander. Let him off the hook and wound up going down to defeat.
And that is going to be foul. So the count 0-2 down on the breaking pitch. I don't know the stats on it, but it would be hard to believe that there's anybody who's stranded guys at third with less than 1 out than we have. And or bases loaded, no outs, no runs.
That one game.
Men on second and third, no outs, no runs.
We did that
3 times.
3 times in the same game.
In 5 innings. I've never seen it done. Bases loaded, nobody out twice didn't score. Men on second and third, no outs, didn't score. All that within 5 innings.
Pretty amazing. But Brent Lillibridge can put an end to that, but he's probably going to have to do it on a curveball. And those wind up in the dirt. So Martinez had better be ready to dig it out. There was a dandy.
It's amazing. Meanwhile, we're into the 6th. In the Sox-Cubs series at beautiful U.S. Cellular Field, June 20th, 21st, and 22nd. So look in today's and June 19th Sunday Chicago Tribune for more details. Cabrera. Will Oman. Ball one.
That'll be a tough inning for Will. This his second inning of work. Usually he doesn't do that. He's got the heart of the order, although he will turn Martinez around.
One and one to count.
Omar. Probably wants 2 watches or some wristbands.
Outfield straight up, spread out. That equidistant. And the 2-1 delivery on the outside corner. Cubs leading the Cardinals 2-1, top of the 7th in St. Louis. Way high. Full count.
Victor Martinez, who will turn around for the first time today and hit from the right side against Will Oman if he's still in the game.
That's high and deep. Did he get it? No. So it's a home run, and it's 7-3 Tigers.
The second inning for Will Oman has not been all that kind to him. A towering 13th home run of the year, 43 driven in for Miguel Cabrera. This one hit straight up in the air. It's a breaking ball out away. Didn't get out by much. Brent Lillibridge went up as high as he could go and almost caught it. Keyword being almost.
So here's Martinez. He's 0 for 1 with a sacrifice fly.
Plenty of time to go yet, especially if Penny stays in this one.
7-4-0 for them. 7 runs on 4 hits. We have 3 runs on 8 hits. We have stranded 6 runners in this game. They have stranded no runners in this game. As we've talked about, people ask me, what about the Tigers? What about the Indians? I tell them, I don't worry about the Tigers. I don't worry about the Indians. The only club I worry about is the White Sox. If we play like we're supposed to play, we're going to win it. If we don't, we're going to lose it. There's a strike, and the count 2-2. Martinez now 29 RBIs to go along with those 5 homers. And there's a little 3-hopper. 1 out. And a reminder that Bacardi at the Park, the White Sox new restaurant and bar, is now open, offering a full menu from Gibson's Restaurant Group. It's a great place to meet your friends and watch all the action on over 70 flat screen HD TVs. So that Bacardi at the Park is open to fans at 11 a.m. before all home games. Stop by Bacardi at the Park, located right across the street from beautiful U.S. Cellular Field.
I've been over there, eating the food, pretty good.
Dirks had a big double back in that 6-run 4th inning. 0-2 pitch. And we understand that Jake has got a strained right groin.
Going to reevaluate him on Monday.
Oh, 2 the count to Dirks. So that's 2 base hits on an 0-2 count for the youngster.
You can see why Jim Leland likes the way he plays. Doesn't quite know his ceiling yet. Does know that he's got good speed and can play all 3 outfield positions.
25,149 in attendance. And here's Avila. He has gone out to center hard. Then he walked back into 4th and scored. Breaking ball strike. Taking some other action, Marlins came back to tie the Brewers at 5. They're in extra innings. And that's into left field. That's a base hit. So the two left-handers have singled off Oman, and that'll bring up Rayburn, who's 1 for 2. It was a grand slam homer back in the 4th inning.
I think AJ's on the mound to kill a little time. Bullpen up and
home
going.
run. Poof. First ball fastball.
Jake was able to get out of that inning on a fly ball to center off the bat of Santiago, and then left the game with a strained groin.
Jake, the first 3 innings was perfect. Struck out the side in the first. 2 soft ground balls, a soft fly ball in the second. Then a couple fly balls and a strikeout in the third. Gave up the first hit back in the top of the 4th to Austin Jackson. And then, as I mentioned, the double play that was not turned led to 6 runs.
Ryan Bruni throwing in the bullpen.
Fastball outside. The ball is striking out. 2 on here in the top of the 6th. 1 in on the homer by Cabrera. Rayburn was all over that one, just underneath it. Top of the 8th in Pittsburgh. Phillies now have come back to take a 4-2 lead over the Buccos. He gone. 2 down. Third strikeout for Oman. And that'll bring up Ramon Santiago, who has struck out and gone out to center. First pitch strike.
Santiago does not have much pop in his bat from the right side. Only 4 hits, all singles. Brent Lillibridge awfully deep in center field.
One and one to count to Santiago. Two and one. And that'll be a souvenir right side. And a reminder, make your plans to be with us starting tomorrow night. First of 3 with Seattle. In that 3-game set, we're going to run Danks, Umber, and Floyd out there. They're going to run Pineda, Hernandez, and Vargas. All 3 of those games will be over Comcast Sportsnet if you can't make it to the ballpark, with Tuesday's game being on Comcast Sportsnet Plus. So the 2-2 pitch. Yes, he did. He gone, and it'll retire the side, but the high towering home run by Miguel Cabrera. It is 7-3 bad guys. And the Northwest Indiana Chevy dealers for their support of local youth baseball leagues. Through the Chevy Youth Baseball Program, the local Chevrolet dealers are supporting over 35,000 young ball players in their communities. From the big leagues to the youth leagues, Chevy is truly the official vehicle of baseball.
Albuquerque comes into the game. 3-1 record, the ERA 3.06 on for the 18th time. Opponent's not hitting very much. The trouble with Albuquerque, if there is one, and there's not many, the fact that he's walked 12 in 17 2/3. So in here, it's a 4-run lead. And he's got very good stuff. Originally signed as a non-drafted free agent by the Chicago Cubs. Later traded to Colorado for Jeff Baker. Signed by the Tigers as a free agent.
Great name, Al Albuquerque. Alberto Albuquerque.
Would you believe he's from New Mexico?
I love that name.
Nope. From San Pedro de Macorís, Dominican Republic.
Where else? 1-1 to count to Adam. Adam 0 for 2, a couple of strikeouts. That last one was bad. Real bad. Rayburn out there and short right.
It's about as far back as I've seen a second baseman play and not be playing right field.
And he's going to hit a humpback line drive to start it off. And let's take a look at that last at bat by Adam. This is the 3-2 pitch.
That's what Martinez does with the baseball. After catching it backhanded, he pulls it back up and in about 6 inches.
That's bad.
Adam wasn't particularly happy with that.
That's really bad. So here's Beckham. He's 1 for 2, a homer. And coming off Penny, that was his 6th homer of the year, his 19th RBI. And the count 1-1.
If Albuquerque starts missing the strike zone, which he can do, he's still got a long way and a lot of outs to go.
12 outs, we can do a lot of damage if we can get somebody in from third for less than 2 outs, which we have not been able to do. Up and in, fouls it back, and the count 2-2. Down goes Beckham.
That one at 97, and it had the corner, perfect pitcher's pitch. And after seeing one inside, that's just a tough pitch.
So here's Brent Morrell, who is 2 for 2 in this game with a stolen base. His average up to 267. Pulls the string on him. And the count 0-1.
That fastball runs at 97 right in on the right-hander's hands.
That's all you can do there. If you start, the only thing you can do is push it. And that's what he did. He just pushed it in there.
That's the get off me ball swing, because that one is following him.
Good check. He did not go.
Then he went 5 innings, gave up 3 runs on 7 hits, walked a pair, fanned 5.
And that's high. 2-2. Pierre on deck. Big gap out there in left center. So 2 down. And here comes Pierre. He's 2 for 3.
Alberto is sneaking up on his 25th birthday. Still a very young man. Had a lot of arm problems early.
There's a chopper right over the top. Santiago, and gets him. Nice play. Nothing across. We did get the leadoff single by Dunn. Go to the 7th, trailing by 4.
He's on for the third time. Had a good run at it at Charlotte in AAA. And he wants to keep that 4-run deficit right where it is. Those are his numbers when he was in AAA. He's got the top of the order.
Jackson, Kelly, and Bosch to face Bruni. First pitch strike. Jackson is 1 for 3. Pick up the Tigers' first hit leading off the fourth. There's the strike. So the count 1-2. Just turning in, Sox with 2 in the first. Tigers 6 runs that they should never have had in the fourth. We added 1 in the bottom of the fourth. They picked up 1 in the sixth. He gone. And if you're looking for a flexible ticket plan, the Ozzie plan includes your choice of 13 games, including the BP Crosstown Cup Series against the Cubs, and also matchups against the Twins, the Yankees, and the Red Sox. Ozzie plan is available right now. Call 312-674-1000 or visit whitesox.com.
After going 28 starts without a win, Jojo Reyes last time out finally broke that and won one, and then turned right around and won one today against Baltimore, beating them 7-4 for his second win of the year.
Can't stop him now.
He's always had great stuff. It was mystifying how he went 28 starts without a win. Throwing 94, 95.
One and one to count to Kelly. And the count 1-2, and checking some of the action and players in our minor league system. Charlotte won yesterday 8-1. Alejandro Diaz, he's starting to get it cranked up. Hitting the ball well. Viciedo hit his 10th homer, drove in his 41st run. He was 2 for 4. Jim Gallagher has impressed everybody in spring training, but Jordan Danks is really starting to get it cranked up. Guys are talking about him. John's brother, he's hitting .264 after just a horrible start with 9 homers and 32 RBIs. Changed the stance a little bit. As that's popped up left side, Brent shading from the sun. Watch the bag. Okay. 2 down. But they changed Jordan's stance. Starting to really put some good swings on it. With Viciedo hitting at 300. He got a chance to be a monster. Tyler Flowers got his average up to .267. Alejandro Diaz hitting at .298. And down in Birmingham, they got some guys who can swing the bat down there. Tyler Kuhn hitting at .353. Christian Morero hitting .335 with 9 homers, 33 knocked in. Josh Fagley, after, like Jordan, a terrible start, got his average up to .269. There's a base hit by Bosch, so he's now 1 for 3.
That means we got to face that man again.
And they promoted Michael Blank, good-looking young catcher from Kannapolis up to Winston-Salem. He's a big man. It's fouled off the mask. Cabrera is 1 for 2. First time up off Peavy, grounded to short softly. Then he walked in the fourth. Then he led off last inning with a home run. High into right field. And that'll retire the side. So nice inning for Brian Bruni. 7th inning stretch is not good.
Games around the major leagues.
Bottom of the 7th inning, it's 7-3 Tigers. We got some work to do. We got some guys who can get it done, though. It'll be Alexei, Quentin, Konerko, Brzezinski, Lillibridge, Dunn, Beckham, and Morrell, hopefully here in the 7th. Alexei is 0 for 3 last time up. Don Kelly down at third made a terrific play on it. That fastball a little wide. Pull the string on him. And a reminder, join us for Mullet Night and Fireworks on June 24th. Sox versus the Washington Nationals at 7:10. Enjoy Mullet Night and post-game fireworks presented by Great Clips. For tickets, call 866-SOX-GAME or visit whitesox.com. 2-1 to count. Softly hit. And one out.
Diego is pretty smooth over at shortstop. He can play anywhere in the infield. That's what makes him so valuable.
So here's Quentin. He has singled, struck out, and walked. Alberto Albuquerque. Breaking ball strike. And the count 0-2.
Carlos did not like the call. Actually, it was a pretty good pitch.
The 0-2. Had him way out in front. So a souvenir left side. A little bit of gas up there at 97. Rubber match of this 3-game set. Sox took the opener 6-4 behind Mark Burley. And last night we had our shot. We had our chances. Couldn't get it done against Verlander. Barrera's 2-run homer at the top of the ninth as down goes Quentin.
So we got number 3 for Albuquerque. Giving up the one hit, the leadoff base hit to Adam Dunn last inning. And look before at the Miller Lite Bullpen Sports Bar, the home of the Bertucci boys.
Paulie is 2 for 3 with an RBI. Both hits were doubles. He now has 10 on the season. And there's a 98-mile-an-hour fastball for a strike. Yeah, Verlander last night, though. Whether you like him or you don't, you cannot take it away. That man is some kind of horse. Struck out Quentin with a 100-mile-an-hour fastball in the 8th inning and a big at bat.
Well, you got to really like him if he's your number 1 pitcher, because you can't pull him out of there with a crane. Finally giving way after 8 strong.
3-1. No, I love guys like that.
He threw 252 pitches his last 2 starts and was throwing harder when he left than he started the game both times. I mean, perceptively harder.
That's the pup out of Bartolo Colon when he was in his heyday.
By the way, he has recaptured that heyday.
It certainly appears.
He's thrown 96.
He threw 97 the other day. Yeah.
And late.
Yeah. And there's ball 4. So the 2-out walk. And that'll bring up AJ, who's had a tough day. Couple chances to drive in some runs, didn't get it done. Men at third, less than 2 out. It's through the wickets again. So Paulie down to second.
That's a wild pitch, charged to Albuquerque. His third wild pitch of the year. Gene Lamont, former skipper of the Sox. Gino, now third base coach for a long time for these Tigers.
That's foul back. And a reminder, organize a group outing of 20 or more guests during the season. Purchase a block of tickets or enhance your outing with one of 6 great party areas. Bertucci Boys down there. The more tickets you order, the more money you save. Call 312-674-1000 or visit whitesox.com. That one at 97. A beautiful day here in the beautiful city. Getting a little cooler though, 64 here at the ballpark, but not a cloud in the sky. And a full count with Lillibridge on deck.
Albuquerque doesn't have much of a curveball. Brent Lillibridge probably would welcome a straight one at this point.
We'll go to the 8th.
PV pitch. He left with a groin injury. Ryan Rayburn hitting his 3rd career grand slam. And the Tigers lead by 4. Visit your local Honda dealer today to test drive the 2011 Honda Cross Tour, available with 4-wheel drive.
Victor Martinez will lead it off here in the top of the 8th inning in a 7-3 Tiger lead. First pitch strike. Victor's 0 for 2 with a sacrifice fly. Outfield straight up, spread out. And the count 2-1. Bottom of the ninth in St. Louis, 2-1 Cubs. Bottom of the fourth at the Big A in Anaheim. Yankees and Angels are tied at 2. No walks. Top of the third in Seattle, 2-0 Tampa Bay.
Eric Bedard going in that one for Seattle.
That is high and deep to right field on the track. That is what you call a just missed them. So 1 out. And here's Andy Dirks. Had one of the big base hits in this ball game. That was a double on an 0-2 count back in the 4th inning. Like a low slider. Out over the plate. He just ripped it into right center field. AJ just holding that one there. And now Reynolds saying something to him.
The ball was off the plate.
And the count 1-1. But Jones actually had a good game behind the plate. He just absolutely blew that one on. Had him done, though.
Yeah, but if you can remember back to the one pitch or so that an umpire misses,
oh, sure.
Not so bad.
That's exactly right. He's had a good game. In fact, lately we've had some really good umpiring going on.
I agree with you.
2-2. Minnesota shuts out Kansas City 6-0. Dunsing, the winner, 3-5. Francis, the loser, he is 2-6. And a full count. So the 1-out walk, and that'll bring up Alex Avila.
Dirk's 1 for 1 in stolen bases.
Avila has gone out to center, walked and scored, and singled into left. Takes ball 1. Sox with 2 runs in the first inning. Pierre led it off with a base hit. Ramirez went to left. Quentin with a base hit. Canerco a double right down the line, knocking in Pierre. Then as Quentin was on third on Konerko's double, he scored on a wild pitch. So 2 quick ones for Peavy. Jake was perfect through the first 3. 3 up, 3 down, 3 up, 3 down, 3 up, 3 down. Then in the 6th, the biggest play of the game, the double play that was not turned. If they turn it, and it was really a tailor-made double play. One shot hop to Konerko. He went to Alexei at short. Alexei's return throw was wide, pulled him off the bag. That kept the inning going. And they scored 6 runs. Gave them 4 outs, and they took advantage of it. And the count 2-1. Two balls, 2 strikes. And tomorrow night, once again, a reminder, make your plans to be with us right here at beautiful US Cellular Field. Johnny Danks against Michael Pineda. On Tuesday, Phil Umber against Felix Hernandez. And on Wednesday, Gavin Floyd against Jason Vargas. All 3 of those night games, all 3 of them on Comcast Sportsnet on Tuesday. Comcast Sportsnet Plus.
At Thornton loosening into pen.
And another full count. The more pitches they see, the more dangerous they become.
This guy has been very dangerous.
There goes the runner. That pitch foul back. Actually, in the games, this is the 6th game that we played the Tigers. Alex Avila has hit more balls hard than any other hitter in that lineup.
Well, if Juan Pierre doesn't make a spectacular catch with the bases loaded in that opening game, we lose that game. And that was off the bat of Avila the opposite way. And that would have scored 3.
There he goes. And another foul ball. Yeah, he is really squared up and barreled up the ball better than anybody in that lineup against us this year. Just 24 years old. And once again, the payoff. And there's another line shot. That's not going to be caught. So here come the Tigers. That walk is sitting on third base right now.
Avila has made himself, from last year to this year, as much of an improved player as probably there is in this league. And he's done it by shots like this to the opposite field. This one slicing away from Pierre. No chance at all for Juan to get this one.
Well, he keeps the bat in front of him as well as anybody we have seen. Show that last shot that you had, that side shot there. And watch how he keeps his hands as we bring the infield in. Now watch this. Short, you talking about short and quick? There it is. So Ryan Rayburn's 1 for 3, and it was a biggie back in that 6-1 fourth. A grand slam homer. Got first ball fastball from Jake. and hit it out of here. In case you're just tuning in, Jake had to leave because of a strained right groin. So Bruni in a whole bunch of trouble. Ducks on the pond, just one out. We trail it 7-3. And the count 1-2. And a long way for Quinn. He can't get there. So 1-2 the count. Outfield, straight up, spread out. Pretty stationary, our guys playing the outfield. That's low, 2-2. Cardinals picked up a run in the bottom of the ninth to tie it. Extra innings in St. Louis. Little check swing. Line drive. 2 down.
Ozzie would rather see Santiago hit from the right side than the left. So he's getting Bruni, bringing Matt Thornton into the game.
So Bruni works an inning and 2/3. He departs. Thornton comes on, and we'll be back.
So 0-3, he's on for the 22nd time. His ERA higher than he would like. That one didn't feel good.
I'm not laughing at him. I know that hurt.
Did not feel good.
No. What's this swing? Ouch. Inside of the knee, it looked like.
He took the full dive forward.
It's only been in the last 15 to 20 years that you've seen guys fouling balls off their bodies in places that you never saw before.
More than ever before. You
Never.
See a guy foul the ball off their back thigh.
Never.
Now how does that
when
work?
you and I played that, we never saw that. It's unbelievable.
Maybe, and I think, Hawk, maybe it's that the cutter is becoming more fashionable.
Well, yeah, but the cutter wasn't around 15, 20 years ago.
No, but I'm saying.
Oh, today? You better believe it. The cutter's causing a lot of this stuff.
Especially left-handers to right-hand hitters or right-handers to left-hand hitters. And they get over the top of it, foul it right off a piece of their anatomy.
Yeah, it used, you know, years past, it was always, okay, that's a foul ball off his foot. There's a foul ball off his shin. And that was it.
Now it's the inside of the knee.
Back leg, back knee, in the cup.
That's a good one. I saw two guys in the same day bunting, one in college, one in the big leagues, bunt the ball right off their lips, hit the bat right in the face.
We saw David Eckstein do that.
Yep.
Jacks that up and hit it. Got him in the eye. That was a tough at bat right there for Ramon.
He's going to be feeling the effects of that for a while, I think. Still got the bat in his hand. And Reynolds is looking at him.
Maybe he's called it a foul ball.
Well, could very well be. I mean, Ozzie wants to know just exactly what's going on.
That didn't hit his hands or the bat.
It's like it got his back. Well, they say no. He's coming back. I don't know why he took the long walk.
Or he swung at it.
He's going to have to take the tub. He's going to have to take the tub of ice with him on the plane.
I mean, he's a tough little cookie, I'll tell you that. And he strikes out. He gone. We'll go to the bottom of the eighth. 7-3 Detroit.
Save opportunities 50-50. Doesn't get many of those with Valverde around. He's charged to get 3 outs and turned it over to Papa Grande.
So Lillibridge will lead it off for us. And that Texas 2-0 shutout over Cleveland. The Indians only got 3 hits. Brantley had a base hit. Santana, I believe, had a double. And Laporta had one. 2 home runs, one by Mitch Moreland, another by Elvis Andrus. And C.J. Wilson went 7 2/3, striking out 7.
His ERA is a touch over 3. He's becoming one of the better left-handers in the league. And they're closer.
Amazing what changeups do for you. That ball smoked right at him. That's another hang woof'em for Brent Lillibridge. Been now 0 for 3 with a walk. So here's Adam. He's 1 for 3 last time. Leading off the 6th inning off Albuquerque. He just ripped a single into right field. A hump back line drive. Takes first pitch strike. Second pitch strike. Two down. All right, here's our 4th drive of the game. Gordon Beckham back in the 4th inning. Off Penny. Made it a 6-3 ball game. The 6th homer of the season, our 4th drive of the game. Seven runs, 8 hits, no errors for them. 3 runs, 9 hits, no errors for our Sox. Change up. Changeup is really coming back to take its rightful place among the elite pitches in the game.
Especially when you've got a fastball that's in the mid-90s, and then you can change up. As long as you have the same arm velocity and the same release point, you're going to fool a lot of hitters.
Well, we talked about it last night. Talked about it the last few years. The worst 5 words you can tell a hitter is that he's got a great changeup. That gets his wheels turning.
Benoit last year had a magnificent year with Tampa Bay, who lost their entire bullpen except for Andy Sonnenstein, who's now starting. Benoit had a 1.34 ERA in 63 games as a setup man. And there's a look at Jose Valverde. He came on last night.
The 2-2 pitch. That didn't take long. 3 up, 3 down. We're into the 9th. 7-3 Tigers. It'll be the top of the order. Jackson, Kelly, and Wells. Matt Thornton's first pitch. Austin Jackson struck out twice, grounded out 1-3 and singled. Pick up their first hit back in the 4th inning, leading off when they scored 6 runs. And if you're just tuning in, Jake Peavy had to leave because of a strained right groin, which is never good for anybody, but especially a pitcher. Two and two. Jeff's got a piece of it. Tampa Bay was leading Seattle. Mariners have now tied it 3-3, top of the 3rd out at Safeco. And another foul. Cardinals have defeated the Cubs 3-2 in 10 innings. Cardinals 1 in the 9th, 1 in the 10th. He gone. That one at 96. Well, Matt has faced 2 hitters, struck out 2 hitters, and here is Kelly, who's 0 for 4. Yankees leading the Angels 4-3, top of the 6th at the Big A. Souvenir. LG Skyline Club seats. So 1-1 to count. And that's into short left field. Juan Pierre. 2 down. So Casper Wells will be the hitter. For us, in the bottom of the 9th, it'll be Morel, then back to the top of the order with Pierre and Ramirez. Had a little broken bat, and Gordon, yeah. Nice play, taking a hit away from Wells. He's tough. He's a bulldog. And we'll go to the bottom of the 9th. We need 4 to tie.
of the game. Off the bat of Casper Wells, here comes Gordon Beckham. A 4-run game, he still shows you full extension and takes it away. Chicago White Sox baseball in high definition is brought to you by Xfinity, only from Comcast.
I love that shot right there. That epitomizes what Gordon Beckham is about. You know, that same shot can be construed. You can put it in different scenarios. In a tie ball game, it's a great play. No question about it. When you're trailing by 4, to me, that's the way he is.
Yeah, well, it doesn't really matter.
It doesn't matter. If you're trailing by 10.
He's going full go regardless. And give you an idea what Jim Leland thinks about this. A non-save situation. He's bringing in his closer, Verde.
Well, he's trying to play the sight card on us right now, which I don't blame him. I mean, we take the first game of the series. And that made it 4 in a row for us after sweeping Boston. And all of a sudden we had a chance to get and could have gotten Verlander last night, but we didn't. That's just baseball. But today we give them 6 runs in that 4th inning.
Well, he also knows you got the right-handed Morel after Pierre. 3 dangerous right-handers in Ramirez, Quinton, and Konerko.
Now the biggest thing he wants to do is just get this, come out of here
with 2 or 3
game.
Yep,
that's right. So he's going to use his best to do that. Nope. Grant is 2 for 3. 2 singles. Grant now 6 for 10 in the series.
So Verde came on last night. He walked first man he faced, Alex Rios. Then retired the next 3. And he nailed down save number 15.
And that's off of Facade. Back on top of the Tiger dugout and back on the field. And once again, a reminder, tomorrow night, Johnny Danks. Johnny is due. There's no question about that against Michael Pineda. Make your plans to be with us. First of a 3-game set with Seattle. And we'll close out this 10-game homestand next Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday against the Oakland A's.
High heat.
Eleven strikeouts for Tiger pitching today. Here's Pierre. He's 2 for 4. Takes it high and wide. Make that 12 strikeouts. Punch-outs. Our guys have struck out 11, so there's been a lot of strikeouts, and that's safe fair. Safe fair. It won't. Just foul.
As he got Paulie back in the lineup today, he responded with a couple of doubles and a run batted in to go with his walk. Still to this point, just has not been enough. Good to see Paulie back in the lineup, especially with a couple of real tough customers coming in for the Mariners.
Count evens at 2 to Pierre. Yeah, well, as we've been talking about virtually all season, hadn't been for Konerko, we'd really be in bad shape.
Yep.
And the 2-2. Almost walked right into it. Full count. Come on, let's get something going with one out. Let's give him a finish at least. And a payoff. Danny Worth, 2 down. So here's Alexei. He's 0 for 4. Takes low ball 1. Quentin on deck. Konerko in the hole.
That time Valverde spun around on the mound. Thought he was going to fall down. Take a look at this one. I'm not sure exactly what that is, but he seems to do it effectively.
He is animated out there. So we're down to our last bullet. And that's low. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. 7 runs, 8 hits, no errors for the Tigers. 3 runs, 9 hits, no errors for our Sox. And this is the rubber match of this 3-game set. Look at the play right here and they'll get it good. Kelly with a beautiful effort right there. Took just an hair long getting it out of his glove.
He had the same exact play with Alexei earlier in the game. This is a bullet down the line. He dives toward the line to his right. Sets, fires it across, but doesn't get him this time. Ooh. We'll take it.
So here is Quentin. Keep it going. Quentin has singled, struck out, walked, and struck out. There goes Alexei. And there's a shank. Broke his bat. $25,149 at 31,000 plus last evening. There he goes. Defensive indifference. Or fielder's choice. Come on, get on for Paulie. .6'4", 255. Valverde is. And that's up and in. Jose Valverde. And the count 3-1. Don't help him out. One delivery. Watch out, that hit him. Well, let's keep it going, boys.
Jim Reynolds goes out and he wants a word with Valverde. Valverde hits only his second man of the year. And Carlos gets it where he usually gets it. Right around the left bicep.
Well, there have been three guys that are really stand out in that category as far as not moving well. First one was Tony Conigliaro, former Boston outfielder. Next one was Don Baylor. And now Carlos Quinn.
Well, Ron Hunt was a guy.
Well, he tried. That was part of his game.
And he wore.
I mean, he stuck his face into the ball.
Well, he wore a big rubber band from almost waist to armpit and just stepped in front of everything.
Yeah, but I'm talking about guys who just didn't move. Hunt moved, but into the ball.
Greg Biggio moved into the ball also.
So here's Paulie. Paulie, a couple of doubles in this game. And a walk, he's 2 for 3. Paulie got his average up to 315. Go along with those 12 homers and 45 RBIs. And there's a strike. Paulie just shrugs. So the count, 0-2 with 2 out, 2 on. Trailing by 4 here in the bottom of the 9th. Come on, Paulie, get on for AJ. AJ certainly do. Softly hit, caught by Santiago, and this ball game is over. So the Sox take game 1 and lose game 2 and 3, and we'll be back.